to kind of understand where I am today is to kind of revisit where I came from. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm from a family of 10. My family was very, very poor. I remember going to school times with no food. I went to school hungry. I went to school without any clothes. I remember that my shoes that I wore were so worn where you wore a hole in the bottom of it, and I used to put cardboard in the bottom of my shoes. It was bad when it rained, of course, you know, water seeped in. I was homeless at times because my family was not really connected. When I went to school, no one really pushed me to go to school. It was something like, to the degree is that, well, you can't stay in the house, so you got to go someplace. So my options were to either run the streets or to go to school. Running the streets was very dangerous. As a kid running the streets, I was shot at. So the safest place for me was school. So I started going to school, and I stayed in school. I played hooky one time. Worst day of my life, because everybody else was in school. So I figured, and I got shot at. So I decided that perhaps school is probably the safest place for me, and not to mention the fact that I was starting to enjoy it because I was learning different things and meeting different people. So when I grew up and I graduated from high school, I'm number 5 out of 10. When I graduated from high school, I was the first one in my family to graduate from high school. Nobody in my family came to my graduation, which is the saddest day of my life. You know, I still hang over. It's like a dark cloud. So I made and I was the first one in my family to go to college. So I made in my mind that I would encourage every young person, regardless of where they come from or where they've been, to go to school. So that kind of leads up to some of the things that I do now. I'm a co-founder of one of the nonprofits in Eugene. It's called the Oregon Black Education Foundation. And we provide scholarships to needy students that people would assume that are not going to amount for anything, because I was told that I would never amount to anything. And when people say what things that's negative, saying what they can't or what I can't do, based on their opinion, I want to prove them wrong. And those are the things that kind of motivate me to get involved with other students, younger students, as you learn and as you grow, to let you know that regardless of what anybody says, they can throw up barriers, they can throw up walls, but it's up to you. You are the one that's going to define who you are. No one else will.
Can you describe how the students felt about the help and your foundation and what you do for them?
I have one young man, his name is David. David he attended a school in Springfield. David, really nice kid. David was going to school and we had a lot of gang problems in Eugene as well. They approached David and they told David if he didn't join the gang, they were going to beat him up every day. So David made a mistake, good intentions. He took a knife to school in order to protect himself. David got expelled from school. David wanted to get back to school, so he enrolled in this program called Oregon Youth Challenge. They hold it up in Bend. It's like a military type of environment. It's in the armory. In order for David to go there, David needed a mentor. He needed 2 mentors. So his mother, they were pretty new to the area. His mother asked me if I would be a mentor for David, and I agreed. So I drove down to Bend. We went through a contract signing that I would be with him as a mentor for the duration of his time there. David successfully completed that course. And my hopes was that he would be able to go back to regular school, traditional school, high school once he finished. It was not happening like that for David. So eventually David moved to Colorado, where he did graduate from high school. He has aspirations to be a firefighter. We stay in touch. There is a high school, an alternative high school in Eugene called Calapooya High School. My organization worked with the students over there. We started an internship program. I am an EWEB commissioner, which is an elected position. So I started an internship program where the students are working over at EWEB, the Eugene Water and Electric Board, and they're getting paid. I don't want any students to go out and work and not get paid. A lot of times I think it's a travesty where we ask a lot of these things for our young students, and they go out, they get involved, they work hard, and at at the end of it, they have nothing to show. I don't want that to happen, and I won't let that happen. So I try to make sure that the students are connected, real world, and more importantly, to be there as a resource for them in case they have questions.
Okay. Let me still go.